we're here to talk to everybody about the car. We got some people in the comments that are like, oh, you hit the car, you like 30 miles an hour, 35, 40. It definitely was a lot harder than that. We're gonna give you a little rundown and let you see what happened. I'm gonna let Johnny do some talking now.
Opposed to what everyone said that it'll buff out, got a lot of structural damage. This whole front subframe cradle, every piece of the frame is bent. So it's buckled on the lower half. It actually sheared off the lower pan that's spot welded in place. The left side took obviously some of the brunt, but most of it shifted over, and then also damaged the right tie rod.
This is bent really good right here.
Yeah, that's what absorbed most of it. So we got a whole front cradle to replace this. So this is the new front end. Shout out to my buddy Alex he's actually in Georgia. He goes by Alex Rebuilds, and he's done quite a bit of exotics now. We're good friends. I help him out once in a while when he has issues with his cars. But this is from a 2017 RWS that he had bought that was in a fire. So if you guys don't know, the actual main frame of second gen R8s is exactly the same as a Huracan. This whole front frame is actually sold from Lamborghini as a replacement part, but since COVID and all that, factory shut down, so we can't get parts. So this is basically what we can get kind of in a hurry. So this will be cut off and welded to the front of that. Like I said, it's exactly the same. The only difference is on the Huracan, there's a bracket here. The R8 has an actual arch for the fender since it has a small fender, and the Huracan has a full fender. But other than that, we're gonna be stripping that fully down and ship it off to the body shop, and then let them make the cut, weld it, and then bring it back and assemble it. Here's an update. First off, engine had to come out. Why did the engine have to come out? Well, when the car came around and the rear end, the only damage that the car had in the rear end is this tail light. And something with either in the turbo exhaust, maybe something when the car hit the wall so fast, you got to think inertia, gravity. When it comes to zero, stuff shifts because something's got to give. So the engine actually moved back about 2 inches. That's what I'm thinking. Something, I can't confirm that it was something with the engine, but it wasn't anything with the wall, and broke the taillight. So at first glance, you know, the whole rear of the car, if you look at it, take its covers off, it's perfect. Nothing wrong with the body. So yeah, all you guys saying that, whether it be Goon Squad, V-Tune, they're all my friends. Again, it's not as easy as you guys think to rebuild this thing. Since the motor did shift 2 inches back, it actually hit, there's a carrier in the back of the actual monocoque that's all, this is all forged and carbon. The outside is bolted into it, and since the motor moved forward, it went into the back firewall and actually hit that carrier, and that caused it to break the block. So the engine block broke. Obviously nobody knew this at the time of the accident, and even days after. I put it up on the lift because I just wanted to see where the coolant was coming from. It broke the water jacket. I'll show you guys in a little bit the part that did break. So now it needs an engine. So should we do a tally of how much this is actually going to cost to rebuild? Because it's going to be steep. How do you feel about how hard you hit?
You know, it was a lot harder than 35 or 40 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And did you point out the whole?
Yeah, we talked about a bit about the rear half of how the engine moved and how much it actually did move. How'd you feel? Do you remember how it felt at all?
I don't. All I remember is wondering how long it was going to be before the airbags came off, how hard I was going to hit the wall, how bad the car was going to be.
Yeah.
And was I going to walk away?
Yeah, no, definitely. And Nick, what's your reaction to all of this? You were watching from a safe distance.
As soon as I seen the car go a little sideways, we already jumped in the car to go run down there. But it was pretty aggressive looking.
You think you're gonna do better with his next time on the drag strip?
He won't let me drive it. That's the funny part.
Go ahead.
I'll just mess with you.
I wrecked
No,
your car. Go ahead, drive it. Take it.
No, that doesn't
Drive it
bother
home
me.
tonight. You know what? Take it home tonight.
The wrecked part doesn't bother me at all, honestly. Getting to rebuild it and learning how to rebuild a Lamborghini is actually going to be pretty awesome. So we'll see how it goes.
I mean, you could have just bought it, right?
You know, trial and error.
I think knowing that you did this and then knowing the ability that you could fix it.
Makes me want to go do it again.
Exactly. At
mean,
that point, you're not scared, you know?
It's all right. It's all right. I mean, I will say that this car is unbelievable on how it handled the impact. It may not look like it in the video, but I definitely saw the speedometer before I hit the wall, and it was not wheel spin.
That's because it's German. This is German engineering. If it was Italian, you'd be a cannoli.
So you're telling me if I was driving a Ferrari right now, I would have been cream-filled center and cut inside the car?
You definitely wouldn't have walked away that easy. So, thankfully.
I mean, it didn't even break the windshield.
No.
That's pretty good. Pretty impressive. I mean, you are going to have a new engine now. It's a downfall.
Yeah, and
I mean,
unlike,
it's probably not a downfall for you. I kind of feel like you purposely loosened the tie rod or something so it would pull to the right like that.
I mean, nothing was loosened except your foot when you hit the brakes, but.
I did not jam the brake. For everybody who says I jammed the brake,
Cue the clip.
I
The brake light.
released the gas pedal and placed my foot on the brake. Or the point where I jammed the brake.
When in doubt,
when the
throttle
car
out.
was
Remember,
yeah, I
when
mean,
in doubt,
I tried
throttle. I've
that.
never
I
heard
tried
the
that.
saying.
I tried
break
throttling
it out.
I
I've heard
tried.
throttle
Look,
out. So.
I tried it.
And everyone's saying that, you know, B is for Bill, did cut off the front frame rails. That's just nonsense on a car that's gonna be 100% back. If whatever he did with that Super Trofeo kit, that's not gonna work here. So opposed to what you guys say about, you know, Goon Squad rebuilding it, those guys are my friends, they're fully capable.
We're the true Goonies, so we're gonna
Yeah,
repair it.
we're in honor of them, yeah. This is baby Goon Squad right here. So
The front clip's right over here on the ground. We got it.
yeah, we got it from another YouTuber, Alex Rebuilds, so he might not be rebuilding it, but I mean, it's kind of YouTubers helping YouTubers here.
Yeah.
We're not YouTubers though. We're just lifers.
5 guys in a shop.
Yeah. Don't say that ever again. 5 guys in a shop.
I mean, it's better than 2. Never mind.
Yeah. Moving on.
How bad is the engine?
So this is the engine out of Nick's Huracan, and this is where the block actually broke. This is the water jacket. This is the main water jacket for the block, and it shattered. What's funny is actually a couple months ago I seen one of these engines on eBay and had the same exact break, and I kind of was like dumbfounded. I was like, how does that happen? Well, now we know. This is another block we have here, but it actually needs to be sleeved. So right now everything's behind. So we were originally gonna send this off and get it sleeved and build this, but since it's about 8 weeks lead time on sleeves, the same car that we actually cut the front end off of, we bought the engine from that. So it was in a rear fire. So more than likely this whole head and pretty much anything on the top end is gonna be not good, but everything else seems to be all right. So we're gonna tear this down and go through it, make sure there's no internal damage or anything fell in the engine while I was running, maybe hurt a piston or a skirt. So this is the engine that I'll be putting in that car. So. I guess other people have said engine block's not repairable from
Oh, we tried that.
fracture. We tried that, it just spider cracked. Alusil's just terrible to work with. When you heat it up and add a different type of metal to it, it kind of wants to reject that metal, so not a good idea. We tried though. Charlie tried his best.
Try to get an oven big enough to put Charlie in some
it.
fire suit in
Yeah.
it with the engine. We just couldn't find something like that.
His body temperature was getting, you know, way too hot, and then the engine was staying at the same temperature, so we had to stop there. Talk about expensive headlights. This is a $5,700 headlight, and the left one's broken as well. So should we do a tally of how much this is gonna cost? Maybe you guys in the comments, we'll tally it up, You guys in the comments.
We need you to.
Try to. We'll see who gets the closest to what it's gonna cost to fix it.
We're gonna
Real
auction
cost.
this off.
No, forget auctioning it off. It's a lot of weight to ship. Let's ship somebody a T-shirt. We gotta be economic here.
We'll tell you what. If
And
you
these
guess
times-
right, I'll sign this and send it to you. Right?
Without ballast or bulbs or yeah.
Well,
That
we gotta
stuff's-
keep
that
some of the
stuff's worth-
expensive.
yeah, that stuff's worth money.
I mean,
if you guys want,
I'll tell you what.
a Huracan.
We could send you this piece right here.
He's gonna cut himself.
Yeah.
Zoom in.
No, I'm not gonna do it.
We'll just send you a T-shirt. If you guys, whoever can guess how much it's gonna cost to rebuild this. Not our cost, because we know people, but what it would cost. We are actually going to reuse the bent front end, and we're gonna make a simulator. We're gonna call it the brake simulator. So, as you can see, that's actually this is just spot welded on and then seam sealed, but force the impact, pop it there. You can see the frame rails really buckled there. Fortunately, none of the suspension really took a hit. The only thing is the tie rod. So the tie rod end, but the rack and pinion seems to be all right. So once we take it out, I'll pull the bellows off of it and check for any bends or anything, but pretty much everything else is good. We got also the radiators from Alex. So pretty much have the whole front end. We're waiting on a mid radiator. And then if you guys are familiar, we have car that we put a Liberty Walk kit on. So fortunately we had the front bumper, hood, right fender. So we should have this put back together maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks, hopefully. Nothing else gets delayed. The headlamps are very expensive. The right one, both of them are about $5,000 a piece from Lamborghini. So we're looking for some secondhand ones. Maybe save a couple bucks there. But other than that, driver airbag, driver knee bag went off, and that's all the damage really.